Hello guys, my name is Mohammad Afsar Ali, and in this video we are gonna talk about manual software testing. Okay, so basically in this course we'll see how the manual testing works and what are the process followed by the manual testing, and also we'll cover like SDLC, software development life cycle, and software testing life cycles. Everything will be covered in this session. So coming to the introduction part of software testing, okay, so computer programs are designed and developed by human beings, and definitely human human designed that thing that they're prone to errors. Okay, hence they can lead to a lot of problems, including social implications. Testing the software become an essential part of the software development life cycle. Okay, once you develop the software, you need to test the software because the ultimate goal of the development is the client's requirement should satisfy. If client have given something to develop, if you have developed that thing and it's not working fine, and you have just given back those work to that client, and if it doesn't work, then definitely he will not come to uh, your company again, right? So that would be a huge loss for the client as well and for your company as well. So you need to test everything before you release the software to that client, correct? So carrying out the testing activity for project has to be practiced with a proper planning and must be implemented correctly. So there are some certain rules, certain formats, okay, we need to follow to carrying out the testing activity. You cannot just go and test any application without having any requirement, without having any proper planning. Okay, we need to set some rules, some formats. Okay, many companies you might have heard about the CMMI level 1, 2, level 3, something like that. Okay, the CMMI level 5, they do follow completely documentation. Everything they follow strictly without fail. So that's the thing. That's why they are the clients. They are going to them because if it's a CMMI level 5, they do follow the proper process, proper documentations. Okay, there's some basic questions on testing: why to test and what to test, how often to test, and who tests. Okay, these are the basic questions. If you are manual testing and you are new to manual testing, if you want to learn manual testing, so this is the first question: why to test? Okay, if developer is being developed, then no need to test, right? You might have asked this question, but the questions is pretty straightforward. The answer is also straightforward. Like, testing becomes absolutely essential to make sure the software works properly and does the work that it is meant to perform. As I said earlier, if the client has some specific requirement, okay, that software should work as per their requirements. If it is not, then definitely he is gonna lose a lot of things. The client will lose his customers. The client will lose his reputations. Okay, I can give one example. If it's a Flipkart application, okay, you have developed for the some modules, right? I'll talk about like what is module in software application development. Okay, if you have login module, if you have registration module, if you have the payment module, suppose you have developed an application in which the payment module has some bug in the thing is not working correctly. If when the end user, the client's customer, that is end user, okay, who buy the products on the Flipkart, when they want to pay for a particular product, okay, their account got deducted of that much amount, but the Flipkart didn't receive that amount, and and the Flipkart didn't you know place any order for them. So what would be the scenario? Okay, definitely the customers of Flipkart, they will not come again to this Flipkart and they will do some legal actions. Okay, so that's the case. That's the thing. If anything, if that software is being not tested properly, so that kind of impact that can be done. Okay, uh, if you are not doing your testing or your development work correctly. Okay, so that's why it is essential to test that application before releasing that software to the common people or the end user, right? Then what to test? Any working product which forms part of the software application has to be tested. Both the data and program must be tested. Okay, I will talk more about it, how to test the data and what to test the program. Okay, right? The Flipkart application, as I given the example here, the Flipkart applications, each module need to be tested, right? With different datas, different types of users. How often to test? When a program source code is modified or newly developed, it has to be tested, correct? Who tests? The programmers or developers also test, the testers, the QA persons also test, the BAs also test, and the customers, the end user, okay, and the client of your company, they do test, right? Then there are the certain process are involved in development of a particular application. Okay, so that process is called software development life cycle. Okay, this is more important in software industry. Okay, anywhere you go, and if you are a client, if you want to have your own software development, okay, you need to approach any company who do software development work. You need to go to them and you need to give them your requirement. They will build the software according to your requirement. But to build your application, okay, they need to follow certain process, certain rules they do have. Okay, that is called software development life cycle. So, okay, it has planning phase, it has a requirement analysis phase, it has the design phase and development phase or coding phase, and then we have testing phase. After that testing is done, we do the release phase, then maintenance. Okay, each phase is as important. Okay, because in each phase there are certain activities need to be performed and certain artifact. Okay, I'll talk about what is the artifact and what are the uh, uh, document. Okay, being documented in this particular phase, okay, each phase has its own documentation. Okay, and there is some exit criteria, entry criteria. Okay, to come to the requirement analysis, there is some entry criteria and there is some exit criteria. Okay, so all we'll talk about, like what is the entry criteria, what is the exit criteria for each cycle or each phase. Okay, let's see what is the planning, what is the analysis, what is design, etc. Fine. So inceptions, this one is planning phase, I would say. In this phase, in this particular phase, the client requests for a proposal, then negotiation, then we do some letter of intent like LOI. Some companies may do this along with the feasibility study to ensure that everything is correct before signing a contract. Because if you're a client and you approach to any company, okay, and you said, I want to build a software like a Flipkart, correct? And they will analyze and they will think if they can able to build that application or not, if they have that much of manpower or not. Okay, they will check if they have everything set up, every environment is set up or not, every like Java developer is present or not, or C Sharp, .NET, or database developers are present or not. So everything they will check with their feasibility. If they are okay with that, then we'll go with the contract. They will sign a bond, okay? Then they will sign a service level agreement, SLAs, okay? Then they will do some negotiation regarding this payment, estimations, costing, etc. Okay, so in this phase, the first is the, I would say, analysis. Sorry, this is the planning phase. Okay, if everything is okay, the company, okay, that company will sign a bond for a particular period. They will say in this particular time period we'll be able to finish the application development. Then after that, the requirement need to be documented. Okay, so who do the documentation part for requirement? Users requirement. Okay, there are two type of document that is first one is the user requirement specification, or URS. This document will describe in detail about what is expected out of the software product from the user's perspective. Okay, because if you are a client, you know what your customer wants, you know your business well, because if you are a retail if you have a retail company and you know what you want to be present in your software, right? You need to have your customer, you need to have your product present in that website. Okay, so you know your business well, so that thing you need to talk to that company, so they will document in the user requirement specification. Okay, the wording of this document will be in the same tone that of a user. Okay, some end user what they want, okay, from that particular website. If it's a Flipkart, online Flipkart application where you can buy or you can just do some COD EMI options would be available. So all these things, okay, one customer needs from a Flipkart. So the same thing will be documented in the user requirement specifications. Fine. And there is a software requirement specification, SRS. A team of business analysts who are having a very good domain or functional expertise will go to the client's place and get to know the activities that are to be automated and prepare a document based on a URS, and it is called as SRS, software requirement specification. Okay, after using this URS, user requirement specifications, okay, SRS is being documented. Okay, then coming to the next phase, that is a design. After the SRS being documented, the requirement is documented, then the next phase is designing the whole scenario, or creating a blueprint of that whole application, how this application should look like. First of all, they will do some high level design. Okay, first of all, what they will do, a list of the modules and a brief descriptions of each module. Okay, suppose the Flipkart application, they have uh, you know they just split it everything into a module wise, like there is a login module, there is a payment module, there is a check-in check-out module. Okay, there are a lot of modules available on this software. So each module need to be developed separately, or that need to be you can say that need to be given to a particular developer. Once he completed his module, he'll be given another module. So likewise, this thing works. The brief functionality of each module need to write like what that module will do. Okay, if it's a login module, they will write some description about that login module. What should be the expected behavior? Okay, in login, user should be able to log in using its correct username and password. So likewise, And the interface relationship among the module, what are the relationship between the module, they also designed in this high level. Okay, there is a registration module, there is a login module. Okay, what is the relationship between the registration and the login module is, okay, first the first is this thing happens like registration is done. After that we can be able to logged in. Without registration we cannot do any logged in to that application. So there is a relationship between registration and the login. Similarly, they in a high level design database tables identify along with the key elements, etc. We do an overall architecture diagram also along with the technology details, or high level diagram is being created for this. Okay. Then after that we have low level design. Each module that we have designed in the high level, we, we design it in detail, like detailed functional logic of the module in a pseudo code, then database tables with all the elements in including their type, size, etc. Everything will be, you know, uh, included in this low level design in detail. Okay, what a developer need to follow, what he need to take, like whether this is a variable type, or this is a string type, where to use the getters, when to use setters. Everything is being designed in this low level design document. Okay, all the interface detail with the complete APIs reference, or when to use the web services, how many web services need to be created. Everything is being designed in this page. All the dependencies, issues, error message, listings. Okay, error message listings, everything will be done, like what are the error message if I enter the wrong username and password, what should be the error message, if it is unauthorized user, what should be the error message. So everything is being documented. Complete input and output of a module, everything, okay, is being documented. Then after that coding, after that low level designing document is completed by referring that low level document. Okay, referring that low level document, the developer will start writing code, converting the pseudo code into a programming language in the specified platform. Then guidelines to be followed for the naming conventions of the procedures, variables, commenting methods, etc. By compiling and correcting the error, all the syntax error and removed. Everything they will compile, correct the errors, all the syntax error, and they will remove any error if any. Okay, so this is pretty much done with development page or coding page. After that coding phase we'll have something called the testing levels. Okay, we do testing because once the code is being written, they need to test that as well. That is called unit testing. A developer, whatever he have done or developed, okay, or scripted, so that need to be tested. That is called unit testing. Program will be tested at a unit level. Each module will be tested. Each code, each functionality will be tested separately. Okay, that is called unit testing. The same developer will do the test, whoever design or develop the code. Then after that, integration testing. Okay, what is the integration testing? Integration testing is something like if I have two or three modules is being developed, okay, individual they are working fine. Suppose a registration, okay, there is a registration module and there is a login module. Registration module is developed by some other developer, and login module is developed by some other developer. Okay, so in their machine the registration is working fine, and the login functionality is also working fine in their machine respectively. But when we need to integrate, okay, we need to test when we merge those codes, like registration and the login button, we need to check whether both are working fine or not. Whatever we have done in the registration using the username and password, if we use the same username and password in login functionality, if it is working fine or not, we need to test that. So that is called integration testing, right? When all the individual programs units are tested in the unit testing phase and all the units are clear of any known bugs, the interfaces between those modules will be tested. Okay, the same thing I talked about this, the in that is, combining two or more this thing module, and will test. Ensure that the data flows from one piece to another piece. Okay, data flow should be happen, like the username you have created in the registration should work in the login module. Okay, this is the integration testing. The system testing, after all the interface are tested, or all the module is being clubbed into one single application, then we need to test the whole application, okay, at one go. So that is called system testing. Okay, then acceptance testing, after the system testing is done, like everything is working fine, now the whole application is working fine, then we need to do some acceptance testing using user's perspective. Okay, whatever the end user will do, so that thing we need to test, that is acceptance testing. Once this is done, this testing is done, okay, the will hand over this software to the client. Fine. The client will test it, and in their place, in a near real time or simulated environment, the real time scenario will test. Okay, then there is a release to production and warranty period, or that is maintenance period. When the clients to the acceptance testing and finds no problem, then they will accept the software, and now they have to start using the software in their office. Bug fixes during the warranty period, we cannot charge the customer for this, because they have SLA, service level agreement. They said, like, after till 5 to 10 year we'll be supporting your software. If you find any bugs, come to us, we'll fix that bug. Okay, without charging anything to that customer. So what happens if he want to develop that application, or he want to modify anything in that particular application, he will definitely come to you, and he'll not go to other vendors. Okay, then after that, go live process means the product is used in live servers. Okay, so in this maintenance phase, there are two, three things being included in SLAs, like bug fixing. If there is an upgrade, or if there is an enhancement, everything will be covered in this maintenance phase. Like after some time, the software may become obsolete and will reach at a point it cannot be used. At that time, it will be replaced by another software which is superior to that. This is the end of the software. We do not use Fox Pro or Windows 3.1 now, as they are gone, or we do not use much that mainframe applications as well, as they are going to be obsolete. Fine. So now everything is being changed. Then there are software development models. There are different types of models present. Software development models, like waterfall model, we have V model, we have incremental model. Okay, these are the things we do have in software industry. The process SDLC has the different models according to their client, according to their budget, according to their requirement. Okay, how fast they want the software to be built. So accordingly, they try to test this, try to build this application in that manner. Okay. So we'll discuss more about these models, development models like waterfall and all other models in the coming videos. Okay. Thank you guys. Thanks for watching.